Yo, 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 what's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing. I'm back at it once again with another boxing video breakdown and prediction time. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but this is a fight I've been highly anticipating, a fight that till today I'm still going back and forth on who I think's gonna win, but I think I'm pretty much made up my mind who I think's gonna take this W on this fight happening in London, England at the O2, I believe. London, England. This is a fight between Artur Beterbiev, 18-0, unified champion at light heavyweight, holds himself the IBF, WBC, and the WBO strap. I told y'all 18-0, 18 KOs versus Anthony Yarde, the beast from the East, man from East London, fighting in his hometown at 23-2 with 22 KOs. Okay, now this is a very good fight, man. This is a very good fight. It's a time. It's an opportunity for Anthony Yarde to prove all the doubters wrong and or solidify himself as a top heavyweight, light heavyweight, in the 175-pound division, a historical division, might I add. Okay, so we got Anthony Yarde who comes in at about 6 feet tall. His reach, I've never known what his reach is, but that's neither here nor there because I do know Beterbiev's reach. He got like a 73-inch reach. He's about 5'11". You know what I'm saying? So Arthur Beterbiev, I told y'all, man, 18-0, 18 KOs, you know what I mean? And ain't nobody ever gone the distance with this guy. I've been watching Beterbiev, man, since the first time I seen him on my television screen. Besides the Olympics, I'm talking about as a pro, was when he fought Tavares Cloud. And oh my gosh, did he destroy Tavares Cloud, knocked out the former light heavyweight champion Tavares Cloud in 2 rounds. Then I seen him fight against a guy named Jeff Page Jr. And if I'm not mistaken, Jeff Page Jr. even dropped the man Beterbiev, you know what I mean? You check it. So Beterbiev is a guy who or was it Alexander Johnson? Uh It was one of those guys, you know what I mean? I know I've seen Beterbiev get dropped early in his career, and that may be a little iffy about his chin, you know what I mean? He's a seek and destroy type of fighter, but he does have a very composed skill set as far as his boxing. His best punch to me is his overhand right, you know what I mean? He'll break you down with the jab. When he does hurt you, he can let them hands go. Best believe. He's not just a slow punching, slow-footed plotter. You know what I mean? When he does hurt you, he's going to let his hands go, combinations and bunches. He's going to try to put it on you and try to get you up out of there. Now, the man Anthony Yarde, he's a good fighter as well, but he doesn't have an extensive amateur background like the man Beterbiev. You know what I mean? I believe he had only 12 fights in his amateur career. He came into the pro ranks, you know what I mean? And he's also been a seek and destroy type of guy, you know what I'm saying? He's gone the distance, I believe, once in a W versus who was that? Actually, he's never gone to. Has he gone the distance in a win? I think all his W's have come via KO. You know what I mean? All his W's have come via KO. His 2 losses, one was by knockout to Kovalev, and that was in the 11th round when he got dropped by a jab, and he never got up. And his other loss was a split decision to the man. Thank you. Sorry, I'm being fed while I'm doing this live prediction. You know what I mean? Let's get back to business. Now the man, um, what's his name? Anthony Yarde. He lost a split decision to Arthur Johnson or Lyndon Arthur, and he came back and avenged that W and got him up out of there in the rematch in the 4th round. You know what I mean? Now, really and truly, I think um, Anthony Yarde has a chance to win this fight. If he boxes a composed fight, doesn't try go for the knockout early, you know what I mean? Let the knockout come to him. Because really and truly, if he opens up early, it's gonna be a short night for the man out the Beterbiev. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Anthony Yarde. If he tries to open up and go for the gusto in the first half of the fight, then the fight will end in the first half of the fight. You know what I mean? Beterbiev will find some openings. You know what I mean? But there's an opportunity also for Yard if he does catch the man Beterbiev. He can put him on his ass and possibly hurt him. You know what I mean? Anthony Yard does also crack. He hits pretty hard. You check it. So Anthony Yard, I believe, because he's fighting at home, he has to use the crowd to his advantage. You know what I mean? He's going to have to circle a lot, get away from the man, Artur Beterbiev's overhand right. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to get away from the overhand right, meaning he's going to have to circle to his right. He's going to have to circle to his right. He has to throw them body shots. He has a nice body shot package, but so does Beterbiev. You know what I mean? But Beterbiev is a headhunter. He throws the body shots when he's throwing his combinations to make you drop your hands when he has you hurt, so he can land them big shots over the top. You know what I mean? But the man, what's his name? Anthony Yard does invest in the body bank. You know what I mean? And he should do that from the get go. Those shots over the top, body bank, but also he has to be aware his jab, and that's where the man Beterbiev likes to wear his opponents down by shooting that right hand over the jab. You know what I mean? Shooting that right hand over the jab. So the man, I'm sorry, Anthony Yard has to make sure he lands his jabs with conviction and also follows up with whether it's an uppercut, a left hook, double left hook off the jab, hooking off the jab, but also has to keep circling to his right and also keep his high guard up. Now that Philly shell he does, I'm talking about as far as keeping the right hand up, as far as like a telephone, you know what I mean? Holding that joint to your ear, your right hand, so to avoid any left hooks while you're circling to your right. Now, the Philly shell that the man Anthony Yard does, well, it's going to be tested by a world caliber fighter in the man Beterbiev. We saw what happened when he fought a world caliber fighter at the time, although he was on his last legs, Sergey Kovalev. Kovalev won that fight every single round, except the round 8 where Anthony Yard almost knocked him out. And that's the type of power I believe Anthony Yard believes in himself that he has. And I also believe he can hurt Beterbiev at any single time in this particular fight. But he puts himself at risk if he opens up and tries to let his hands go. He's going to get caught in between, especially with that right hand over the jab. You know what I mean? So the man Anthony Yard has to try to take this man into deep waters. Anthony Yard's not known for going the distance, but hey, with that muscle-bound body, it's going to be tough for him. This is boxing. It ain't a bodybuilding contest. It's going to be difficult for him to go 12 rounds. You know what I mean? But that's one of his best bets to win this fight, y'all. In England, on point. Try to take this man to deep waters. Try to take Beterbiev to deep waters. Beterbiev has never gone the distance. The closest I seen him go the distance was when he got his first strap, that IBF strap, when he fought this dude I had never heard of before, named Enrico Colling. You know what I mean? Enrico Colling. That was the first time I seen Enrico Colling, and that fight went 12 rounds, and he eventually stopped him in the 12th round. You know what I mean? But to be honest, Beterbiev, his mission is to seek and destroy, and that's by boxing, not just a safe fight, but putting it on his opponent, finding openings. He has a vicious overhand right that hits you on the top of the noggin on the side of your head that'll basically knock your equilibrium off, and that's something that the man Anthony Yard does not need. Otherwise, he's going to be out here looking like Joe Smith Jr. did in the first 2 rounds. You know what I mean? Straight equilibrium shots that could take Anthony Yard's legs away. Anthony Yard got to keep a tight defense. That's the only way to beat a man like Beterbiev, y'all. You got to be very disciplined on your defense and your punch selection. Anthony Yard does have good punch selection, nice uppercuts. His body punching is very impressive to me. You know what I mean? You check it, he hurts fellas to the body, and that's what he's going to have to do. This is an old man he's facing. I mean, this is an old man he's facing. He's going to have to invest in that body bank from early, circling to his right, you shooting that jab, but also not just shooting the jab by itself, following up after the jab. You know what I mean? Keep that right hand up like a telephone. You know what I'm saying? Keep your chin low, like you got an apple under your chin. You're holding the apple with your chin, basically. You know what I'm saying? And, you're going to have to get to work. You know what I mean? But his best bet to win this fight is by knocking out Beterbiev, and that's going to come with patience. That's going to come with patience. Best believe Beterbiev has the patience to let his boxing skills um, bring the foreseeable knockout. But the man at Anthony Yarde has to try to take this man 12 rounds and then leave it up to the judges. That's his best bet to win this fight. But I think, to be honest, Beterbiev is more of a world class fighter. I'm not saying Anthony Yarde's not, but Beterbiev is a guy very much well more experienced than the man Anthony Yarde. You know what I mean? From his amateur pedigree to the pro ranks. You know what I mean? This is the guy who was fighting former world champions when he was like 5-0, whether it's Gabe Campillo or Tavares Clouds and the likes. You know what I mean? That's where I first seen Beterbiev as a pro on PBC. But I believe Beterbiev got the skills to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? And I believe he's probably going to have to break down the man. What's his name? Anthony Yard with shooting that right hand over his jab. You know what I mean? And eventually he's gonna hurt him, I believe, especially if he takes him into deep waters and the man Anthony Yard might be gassing out. You know what I mean? It's all gonna depend on Anthony Yard's stamina if he has what it takes to take this man into deep waters and to take him 12 rounds the distance. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to tell you, man, if he opens up trying to go for the KO, just recklessly rather than letting the KO come by breaking him down with boxing skills, then it's gonna be a short night for the man Anthony Yard. So in this prediction, man, I'm gonna have to give it to the man Beterbiev. You know what I mean? I gotta give it up to Beterbiev. I believe he's gonna get a late round stoppage, ninth to 12th, ninth, anywhere between the, let's say the 8th and the 11th round. You know what I mean? I believe it's gonna be a very competitive fight while it lasts, and it might be just one mistake that the man uh, Anthony Yard makes that might cost him. You know what I mean? Can Beterbiev make a mistake? Of course he can, man. He's not perfect. He has flaws as well. You know what I mean? And if it depends on who's the stronger fighter. Does Anthony Yard have a very good inside game? Time will tell. You know what I mean? But as far as combinations, when a guy's hurt, I gotta give it up to Beterbiev. So in this prediction, I give it up to Beterbiev. I believe he's gonna win this fight in the later rounds between round 8 and 11, possibly by stoppage. Not a devastating knockout. If it is what it is. But I think he's gonna have to hurt the man Anthony Yard where he might be on Queer Street with the spaghetti legs, and eventually maybe Tunde Ajay or the referee gonna have to stop the fight. B Marsh Boxing. Those are my thoughts, my prediction. I see this guy named that Ninja Kwam 74 in the chat says Yard stamina is what might get him in trouble, but if his stamina is good, he may put out a better fight than expected, and I believe that's the key to victory, his stamina. You know what I mean, neither guys go the distance often. Anthony Yard has that big uh, bodybuilding type of frame, so it might work against him. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I got to roll with the man Beterbiev. Although Anthony Yarde has the seven-year age advantage. He's 31 years old. The man Beterbiev just turned 38 like a week ago. You know what I mean? So this is boxing, you know what I mean? Where usually the younger guys do win. But the caliber of fighters that the man Anthony Yarde has fought throughout his career, hasn't even had really no big domestic British rivalry. Never got it with Callum Johnson or Joshua Buatsi and these type of guys. I believe those type of fights would have prepared him for the world stage, you know what I mean? But here he is with the biggest fight of his career. And it's up to him to bring home the glory. But I think Artur Beterbiev, a road warrior himself, will get the job done. B Marsh Boxley, your thoughts and comments. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I'm gone. Peace.